girls. I hope everything is all right. We are on week 5 now on our online learning. It's a very cold day today on the Monday morning. I hope you're nice and warm in your own houses. Okay. Now, we are carrying on this week with solving algebraic equations. Okay, and we ended last lesson with where we looked at where we had fractions. So we had algebraic fraction and we had to solve them, and it wasn't that easy. We're going to do the same thing today. The only difference is that in the denominator, the bottom of the fraction, we're not going to have only a number, we're also going to have an x. And we're going to see that that can cause some problems sometime. Okay? So let's start with this. We're in page 116 in exercise 5. And this is one of the exercises. I think it's exercise D. But 6 over x equals 3 over 2x minus a quarter. Now remember, when we look at here, we look at all these denominators. What we want to do is get rid of the denominators. We want to have a normal equation with no denominators. How do we do that? We have to find the LCD, the lowest common denominator. So normally we only had numbers here, but now we also have an x. So what will be the lowest common denominator of x, 2x, and 4? Okay? So you've got to think about an algebraic expression where all these denominators fit in. And the answer will be 4x. Okay? Because obviously 4 fits in 4x. 4 times x is 4x. 2x times 2 is going to be 4x. Okay? So 2x fit in 4x as well. X times 4 will also be equal to 4x. So 4x is the lowest common denominator. If we didn't have the x, just the 2 and 4, then you'll know that the lowest common denominator is 4. Because we also have x, it's 4x. Now, once we found the lowest common denominator, we multiply the whole equation by 4x. Okay? So, x, if I multiply that by 4x, okay, if I multiply that by 4x, the x will cancel, and I'm just going to multiply the 6 by 4. Okay? Or another way of thinking about it, if I want to have 4x here, okay, then all I needed to do is multiply the x by 4. So I need to multiply the 6 by 4. I've really said the same thing in 2 different ways. In any case, 4 times 6, okay, so I multiply that by 4. I'll multiply that by 4, that will be 24. And that's equal to, if I had to go from 2x to 4x, I multiplied by 2, so I need to multiply the 3 also by 2. I'm going to have 6. Minus the 4, I had to multiply it by x, so the 1 I also have to multiply it by x, and I get 6 minus x. Rearranging that is not difficult. Okay, what I will do, I will move the 6 to the other side, so minus 6. That's going to be equal to 18 equal minus x. And I don't want to know what minus x is. I want to know what x is. So I'm going to time it by minus 1. That's how we get rid of that minus. And I'm going to get x equal minus 18. And that's the answer. Okay? You can at home, if you want to, try and substitute. Put minus 18 in the original equation and see that it works. Okay, so that's our first example. Let's write the second one. Hang on, I want to just show you a little magic that I've learned. Okay? Hocus pocus Billy Bo. It worked. Look how I changed that equation. That was amazing. Okay, guys, we're going to do another one. Okay? It's actually from the exercise, the first one. So 7 plus 5 over x equals 5 times x plus 1 divided by x. Now, remember, we've come across these things where I had a number without a fraction. And what we said, if you remember, just to make it easier, we'll say as if it's, not as if, we divided by 1. And now, voila, it's a fraction. Now I've got 1x and x. What will be the lowest common denominator? It will just be x. So I'm going to multiply them all by x. Okay? So x times 7 is going to be 7x. Now I times 5 times x, but it divided by x, okay, so times x divided by x, that's going to cancel out, so it's just going to be plus 5, times that by x, that is also going to cancel out, it will be equal to 5x plus 1, okay, Now, before we start moving anything, remember I told you need to simplify. That means in this case, foil the brackets. So it'll be 7x plus 5 equal 5 times x plus 5. Okay? Now, let's move all the x's to where there's more of them, which is on the left side. So I'm going to do minus 5x. It's going to be 2x plus 5 equal 5. Okay? Now I'm going to move the 5 to the other side to get rid of that number on this side. 2x equal, what is 5 minus 5? Is 0. And at this point, it's very easy. Yes, you can divide, you want to divide by 2, but if 2x equals 0, you can straight away say, okay, x is equal to 0. Okay? And that appears to be the solution. But is it? Okay. What we're going to do, and this is the new thing in this kind of problems, okay, where we have, remember, what's the difference here is that we have x at the denominator. It's not just a number. So what we're going to do here, and I didn't do it in the first example, I'm going to do it now. I'm going to see, can x actually be 0? Okay? So can I put 5 divided by 0? If I substitute that in the first equation, I'll write 7 plus 5 divided by 0. Can you still see that? You can. Equal 5 times 0 plus 1. Everywhere there's x, I put 0. Okay? That's what substitution means. Divide by 0. Now, forget about that one. Just looking at that, what is 5 divided by 0? How much is it? Put it in the calculator. Pause me now. Put 5 divided by 0. Okay? You're not going to get anything. It's an error, isn't it? Remember, we learned that probably even in a prep, that you're not allowed. It's undefined. It's undefined. We cannot divide by 0. So what we're going to do here, and I will solve one more question with you, is once you've got the solution, x equals 0, you need to put it back in the first equation and see, can this actually be a solution? And if you get undefined, if divide by 0, then that can't be done. Okay? So what we got to do, if that's the situation, we write down no solution. There is no solution. Okay? So the extra step is, we find the solution. Now the extra step is put it back in the original equation and see if it's all still legit. Okay? We'll do one more example after my hocus pocus Billy. Ta-da! Okay, last example of the day. 3 over x equal 5 over 2x minus 1. Straight away, if you don't mind, I'm going to divide that 1 by 1. So, well, everything appears as a fraction. And then I look at these 3 numbers. What's the lowest common denominator? X, 2x, and 1x. In this case, it's going to be 2x. Everything fits into 2x. So I'm going to multiply everything by 2x. Okay? Multiply it by. If I multiply it by 2x here, the x cancel out. So I'm going to get 2 times 3. That's 6. I'm going to multiply by 2x here, the whole 2x cancel out, because already it's 2x, so I don't need to really multiply the 5 by anything. It's equal 5. Multiplied by 2x, there's nothing in the denominator, there's 1. It doesn't cancel with anything, so I'm going to get minus 2x. Right, I'm going to move the 5 to the other side. I'll get 1 equal minus 2x. Divided by minus 2, so I'll get rid of the 2 and the minus at the same time. I'm going to get x equal minus half. Okay, that seems to be a solution. Now I've got to ask myself, what's the extra bit? I need to say, is it legit? Can I actually put minus half in here? So I don't need to solve the whole thing, but I'm just going to write down 3 divided by minus half. I'm just substituting minus half instead of everywhere it says x. Equal 5 divided by 2 times minus x. Minus 1. Now, I don't need to actually follow this through, but I just want to see that I haven't done anything here which is undefined. In other words, I didn't divide by 0. So I need to make sure all of these are not 0, right? That can be 0. The denominator is not allowed to be 0. Minus half 0? No. 2 times minus half, is that going to be 0? No, it's minus 1, but you don't even need to do it. It's definitely not going to be 0. And there's no denominator, so definitely no 0 here. So that's fine. So that means that there is a solution, and that is the solution. The solution is minus half. Okay? So that's really what you guys got to do. You got to, first of all, as before, time it by the lowest common denominator, find the solution, but then the extra step, and that's only if x is at the bottom, the denominator, you need to actually substitute it and see that there is no 0 in the denominator. Well, good luck guys. You can do this exercise 5 now, and I'll see you in the next lesson.